What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here with The Distance. Got a prediction for you guys. Ricky Burns versus Joseph Laryea. Matchup takes place this Saturday. It's going to be taking place in the UK for the, I believe, WBO Super Featherweight Championship. Puts together the challenger Joseph Laryea versus Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns is coming off a victory over, I believe his name was Andreas Esmers or something like that. Really, Ricky Burns became, I became adapt to, or equipped to Ricky Burns when I heard the match against Roman Martinez, which is actually a very good matchup that took place last September, and that's when I kind of got onto Ricky Burns. I never heard of him prior to that, but I've been reading articles on him for the last few months. A lot of people are saying he's fights away from being the greatest Scottish fighter. That's yet to be seen, but in front of him, he's gonna have. I think he has quite a test in front of him against Joseph Laryea. Now Joseph Laryea, doesn't really have the big names on his resume. He's the challenger, but Joseph Laryea is a fighter out of I don't know where he's from, to be honest. I think he's from Ghana. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken. But he shells up and he counters quite well. He does make you pay for your mistakes. And Ricky Burns, is a very offensive minded fighter. Ricky Burns in this matchup, with that type of fighter that stands in the shell and looks for counters, Ricky Burns is going to have to keep him at the end of the jab the entire matchup and clip off rounds by throwing combinations and moving and angling. Staying away from the ropes, taking the jab away from Laryea, moving the opposite direction of the jab. Avoid the right cross as well. And avoiding the right cross is probably moving a lot to his left and jabbing off the left and not staying stationary, not staying in the pocket. And Ricky Burns can take this match if he keeps Laryea at the end of the jab. He throws maybe that subtle body shot. He throws a subtle body shot. And just clip off rounds by fighting in spurts. Throw a few flurries and just move out of the way. Move out of the way, because if Ricky Ricky Burns, I think Ricky Burns can throw a few combinations compared to Joseph Laryea's one or two shots, one or two big counter shots more than likely. So I think Ricky Burns could take it, just keeping him at the end of the jab and throwing combinations. Maintaining a distance, maintaining a range, and finding a range to where he won't have any trouble at. Joseph Laryea in this matchup is going to have to find a way to take away the Ricky Burns jab. He's going to have to, one thing that he's going to have to do is he's going to have to find a way for Ricky Burns not to move. He's going to have to cut off that ring. He has a very, very authoritative jab, very long authoritative jab, and usually follows it up with another shot, whether it be the right hook, the looping right hook, or the right cross. He tends to follow up his jab sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't follow up his jab. Sometimes he just throws that jab just to throw it. In this matchup, he's going to have to find authoritative ways just to counter Ricky Burns inside. He's going to have to counter him inside. He's going to have to keep basically keep the fight inside. He's going to have to try to walk Ricky Burns down and go for the knockout if he can. I'm not sure if he can do it or not, but he's going to have to walk down Ricky Burns and find, encounter and find a way for Burns to not throw. Make him pay for his mistakes. And I think Laryea could take this matchup because he does stand in front of you. He does shell up, but he moves a little bit. He moves along with shelling up. So that's something to consider with this matchup. He moves and he shells up. It's going to be hard for Ricky Burns to land, more than likely. But if he closes that gap and he cuts off that ring, he can take it to him, inside authoritatively. But me, in this matchup, it's going to be another difficult one to score for me. But I'm going to go with Ricky Burns by decision in this matchup. I think Ricky Burns is going to outwork him. Has the ability to outwork him. So I'm going to go with Ricky Burns in this matchup. So anyway, guys, that was The Distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.